Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're taking a look at some lessons learned from Sara, who is one of my favorite YouTubers and one of the people who most inspired me when I was starting this channel. Sara dropped out of college to become a full-time filmmaker, and she's now got over 650,000 subscribers on YouTube, where she regularly uploads vlogs, tech reviews, and lifestyle videos, along with creative and entrepreneurial-focused interviews and films. She's also got a fantastic podcast called That Creative Life that I was lucky enough to be featured on a few months ago. In this compilation video, you'll hear our thoughts on how to discover and develop your passion, how to choose a career based on money and lifestyle factors, and some top tips for getting started as an original content creator. How do you know what to focus your time on if you have so many different passions?
I always tend to really focus on one at one point in time, and then you figure out if that's gonna be the one. So I've had a lot of moments in my life where in the beginning, it was basketball. I was obsessed with playing basketball. Basketball was my entire life. Y'all, I thought I was gonna go into the WNBA. Then 3 or 4 years later, okay, wait, I don't think this is it. And it's just a lot of like trial and error, go full on with what you're stoked about now, because it's a great thing if you found a passion. The harder thing is to be aimlessly wandering around the world and nothing lighting a fire underneath your butt, right? That is the actual problem. So if you have things that you like, if you have too many things, oh, that's great. Like, go and do all of those things. Really focus on one. If it turns out, you know, it's not working out, then go to the next thing.
So that's pretty good advice if you're in the fortunate position where you've got multiple things that you're passionate about, but you're not really sure which one to go for. But if you're sitting there and thinking, well, I don't really have any passions apart from video games and anime or whatever, then I would suggest you're probably not doing enough exploration. And that's something that's talked about in this book, Grit by Angela Duckworth. She talks about why passion and resilience are the secrets to success. And there's a great quote, which is that passion for your work is a little bit of discovery, followed by a lot of development and then a lifetime of deepening. And so if you haven't yet found the thing or things that you're passionate about, then I would suggest tentatively that it's all about doing a bit of exploration, stepping outside the comfort zone, and then eventually you'll find something that you just, you know, want to throw yourself into. How do you think about that kind of balance between doing what makes money versus kind of doing what you enjoy, and ideally kind of the dream is where you're doing the same thing and it gives you both?
That is probably the hardest thing. And then the second hardest question is, do you actually want to pursue that as your job, your passion? I know a lot of people whose happiness is coming home at 6 p.m., breaking open a beer, playing Netflix, and that's their evening, and they love it. And then maybe they don't 100% love their job, but they have some friends at work and just life is good, right? And there's that separation and they like that, and they have their weekends. If you want to keep that life kind of compartmentalized, is that a word? Yeah. Then there's nothing wrong with finding a 9 to 5. Again, I think it comes down to your personality type, what you enjoy and how you do things. I am a very full-on person. Being able to be free to do whatever I want, even though I work every Saturday and Sunday and this doesn't end at 6 p.m., I get a lot of joy from it, and I really love building. But if I had to go to an office and just deal with BS, I think I would die inside.
I think it was the ancient Greeks or someone who had that phrase, know thyself, which is like the most important thing. Sara is, you know, on the outside, living the dream. She is a YouTuber full-time, living in New York. She gets sent free tech products to review. She gets companies flying her around the world to make videos and vlogs and stuff. And she's very right in saying that that sort of lifestyle isn't really for everyone. But I think a lot of us talk ourselves out of doing something like starting a YouTube channel or a podcast or a blog by looking at an extreme example like Sara and thinking, I don't really want to be a full-time YouTuber. It's kind of like going to the gym and exercising. You don't have to compete in bodybuilding competitions to get some benefits out of exercising. Equally, you don't have to be a full-time YouTuber to get the benefits of sharing your work out there and building an audience. Next, I asked Sara about her tips for getting started on YouTube, but I think the general advice applies to getting started with anything and not just YouTube. It seems like every year where, you know, even if you were starting YouTube in 2016 or like 2014 like you did, I guess even at the time, it would have seemed like YouTube is too saturated.
Now is always a perfect time to start if you really want. If you have something that is driving you, that you want to create, and you know it's such a passion of yours to where it's almost an extension of you, to where if you're not creating, then a small piece of you will die inside. It's always the right time if you have that itch. Like, you got to scratch that itch. You really have to start with, what are you good at first? I had a passion for video. I was obsessed with video editing. You know, I wasn't going to go ham on blogging and Tumblr. The reason why current YouTubers hate YouTube is the reason why new YouTubers can come on the spot and still be successful. That is the algorithm. When you get a certain audience, you do feel like you're kind of a product of the algorithm. You have to cater to it, you know, its needs. But that same reason is why new YouTubers can come on the spot, maybe only making, you know, videos for a few months, have one that really pops off, and oh, all of a sudden you have momentum, you know? So it's all about having platforms with an algorithm actually help people who start out with nothing.
Case in point, there is this new YouTuber who I came across on Twitter about a month ago. She's a junior doctor in London and her name's Hanny. And she started making videos on YouTube a month ago, and she's made 5 videos. And the 5th one of those videos really popped because it was an important subject that she was educating people about. And she's already got 30,000 subscribers in just a month of making YouTube videos. I was looking through my analytics, and it took me a whole year of making 2 or 3 videos a week to get to 30,000 subscribers. It just goes to show that if you start today, even in the very saturated market that is YouTube, and you're creating stuff that's valuable to people and that people are finding useful, then, you know, it can completely change your life. Our next point is something that I used to worry about a lot, and that is the idea of originality and creativity. What does creativity kind of mean to you, and to what extent are you like an original thinker versus a sort of remixer of other people's stuff?
I think the internet is remix culture. I mean, look at the early days of Tumblr. Who is it in our sphere that says that there's no such thing as an original thought? I think with me, you know, even I hopped on the vlogging bandwagon once I discovered, and I didn't create that, and even Casey didn't create that. Why Casey got so big was he took something that was really popular, vlogging, but put his own spin on it, making it really beautiful, make it, you know, oh, B-roll to music, oh, that's exciting. It was really those tweaks that I think create new genres. It's what you make of all of these things that you're into and putting your own spin on it. You know, I feel like you and Thomas Frank and that section of YouTube wasn't even a thing 5 years ago. And then you get Matt D'Avella. All of these combinations of other YouTubers, they come together and form the great Matt D'Avella, and you're like, oh, it's all of us combined.
So I used to really worry about this originality stuff. I used to really worry that, oh, you know, I feel like none of my stuff that I put out on YouTube or my blog or email newsletter or anything, I feel like none of it is actually original. All I'm doing is taking insights from other people and packaging them up in the form of these videos. And then I made these videos about how to study for exams. And then after making the video, I realized that, oh crap, Thomas Frank made the identical video 3 years ago and it's got like 5 million views on it. Why did I feel the need to make this video? But there's a quote that I always come back to whenever I think that way, which is that there are no unique messages, only unique messengers. And I really like what Sara said about the internet is remix culture. Like nothing is original. Everything is just a remix of something else. And so if you're thinking of getting started with something like a YouTube channel, a blog, a podcast, or anything, and you're being held back by this idea that, well, people have already done it, I don't want to do a review of tech because MKBHD has already done that. Like, don't worry about it. There's no such thing as originality. Everything is a remix. The fact that you're creating something means it's going to be unique because in theory, you are the only you out there. That's something I still struggle with, and it's something I always have to keep reminding myself of. And point number 5 is a discussion about branding. And I think Sara is a master of the personal brand. How do you think about your sort of personal brand?
I think design is super helpful when it can solve a problem. So Sara Dici rhymes with peachy. That started out of a need of, oh my gosh, people don't know how to pronounce my name. I think that's the most important thing for a brand is, do people know how to spell it? Do people know how to say it? So if someone can at least remember how to say it, and then they can associate Peachy or Sara Peachy or something with it, then I can do the back end work of the SEO stuff. And if you can Google Sara Peachy, you'll find my channel, you'll find all my socials. When no one interfaces through really these anymore, but maybe everything is voice, and people are gonna need to know how to say Sara Dici if they're gonna find my podcast, you know? I think that's just like, for start, is the most important thing. And then if you can associate something like fun and zeitgeisty, like the peach emoji, then bonus points, you know?
Again, this branding stuff is something that I used to worry about at the start of my channel. Like if I meet people and they're like, oh, what's your YouTube channel? And I'm like, well, it's just my name, Ali Abdaal, spelled A-B-D-A-A-L. You know, if you just type in Ali Medical Student or Ali Junior Doctor Cambridge, you'll find it. It was really hard to make that decision to go with my real name. But I'm really glad I went with my real name. I think if you use your real name, then it is something that will stay with you for the rest of your life, in theory. And so your content can always evolve with you. Whereas if someone like Peter McKinnon were to call himself Photo Video Tutorials Guy, suddenly he is like very, very much typecast into that role. And so when it comes to personal branding, if you can figure out a way to make your real name the brand, and I think Sara's done it very intelligently with the whole peachy stuff, then that has much more future potential than sticking to a brand name. If you like these 5 lessons from Sara and my own commentary on them, then you might like to check out the extended version of this video, where we also talk about things like diversifying revenue streams and how to manufacture, like how to create viral videos.
It's less about that, oh, this one time you got it perfect. It's more about doing it every single week and hoping you strike fire on 1 out of those 50 weeks.
The extended version of this video is available over at Nebula, the independent streaming platform that me and a bunch of other creative friends are helping to build, as a sort of alternative place where we can put content, like longer form content, without worrying about the YouTube algorithm. So on Nebula, you'll find a load of long form interviews that I've done with people, along with snippets of bite-sized wisdom from those. There's also my exclusive workflow series, which at the moment has 20 videos in it, and I add more videos each month. And those videos are breaking down some of the ways in which I use my favorite productivity apps like Notion and Roam. And on top of that, you get early access to all my YouTube videos ad-free. So for example, in the Nebula version of this video, this ad disappears, and instead it's got these 2 extra bits where we talk about diversifying revenue and manufacturing viral content. To get access to Nebula, the best way is to sign up to CuriosityStream, who are very kindly sponsoring this video. CuriosityStream is the world's leading documentary streaming platform. So through that, you get access to big budget documentaries from people like Chris Hadfield and David Attenborough. But because CuriosityStream love educational content and educational-ish creators, we've got this bundle deal where if you sign up to CuriosityStream, you also get free access to Nebula. They're currently running a promotion where you can get 26% off the annual CuriosityStream subscription, which makes it less than $15. And so for $15 for the year, you get access to these amazing high quality documentaries, but also all of my stuff on Nebula, and also stuff from a load of other creators on Nebula who you might have heard of, people like Thomas Frank, Tom Scott, Wendover Productions, and Lindsay Ellis. So if you click on the link in the video description or head over to curiositystream.com/Ali, that'll give you 26% off the CuriosityStream subscription, which comes with Nebula. And when you sign up to CuriosityStream, you'll get your Nebula details emailed to you. If you like this video, you should definitely check out some of the videos in my book club series where I summarize insights and ideas from some of my favorite non-fiction books. That'll be linked over here somewhere. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.